Thinking about it. Hi guys, and happy Wednesday. One of the best ways to boost your brand's online presence and get some more leads is through positive reviews. According to a recent survey, 21% of people would rather leave a negative review than a positive one. So it seems like customers aren't really rewarding businesses for adequate service. But our business owners are also looking at ways to improve their review performance, and they will also go through a lot of effort just to get those numbers up. Because if it's between a business with a 4.2 or 4.8, who are you going to choose? That is why we thought of some warnings that you guys should be aware of when you are trying to get more reviews on your Google platform, because there are a bunch of rules and policies that you need to be aware of. First, welcome to our live stream, folks. My name is Kandice Tyler, and I'm the Community Relations Coordinator here at BizIQ. And today I am joined by Matt Nash. But if you are tuning in right now live, I need you to stop what you're doing and comment live in the comment section below. And if you are watching this on a replay, I also need you to stop what you're doing and type replay in the comment section below. But moving on here. Matt, thank you so much for joining us today and taking the time out of your schedule. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at BizIQ?
Sure thing. So I've been working here for about 8 months, and I got started in digital marketing, studying at ASU, and then working in some extracurricular opportunities through my fraternity, through some internships, and with some friends that have small businesses of their own.
Okay, so you got a little bit of credit in the game here, but let's dive into today's topic, all about reviews, obviously. Now, I did work in the Google Local Services Department 3 years back now, so everything is probably different. And during that time, I know that you can technically solicit reviews to a point. Am I getting close there?
Yeah, so you can, to respond directly to your question. So asking directly for reviews is one of the best ways to acquire them. However, you can't really be too direct or suggestive about the content of the reviews. So asking for a specific rating, like say 5 stars, that is not permitted by Google. But just asking your customers to review your product or service is entirely acceptable by Google's policies. So it's just important to note that you can't discourage negative reviews.
Yes. Now, another thing that I stumbled across during my time in the GLS department is business owners who would actually buy reviews. Now, it may seem a little on the nose to some, but this is actually not something that you should do. This is a black hat SEO tactic and not something that we recommend, especially for anybody who's listening in now. But Matt, can you give us some more information on why they shouldn't buy reviews?
Sure thing. So it can be tempting to try and incentivize your customers to leave positive reviews. You might consider paying for them, but this is against Google's policies and illegal. So the FTC has strict guidelines on this kind of solicitation and will retaliate against businesses that take on this activity. These kind of reviews are considered false advertising and could result in large fines for your business. Google will also remove all paid reviews if they discover that you've done them. So generally, it's just best to avoid it. Some companies, though, have run contests for review submissions, which also violates Google's policies and will result in the removal of all reviews from the company's GMB profile.
Yikes. And are there any other things that business owners should or can't or should not do when it comes to reviews?
Yeah, there's a few more things. So first of all, you can't solicit reviews in bulk. In bulk is somewhat open to interpretation, so we will clarify what works and what doesn't. A generic post, for example, on social media is entirely acceptable within Google's policies. But if you go on to tag users in the post or in the comments, this is not acceptable. Automated emails as well, directly to your customers after purchasing your product or using your service, are a great way to encourage reviews. But again, it's important to avoid being too direct or suggestive when you do this. Sending an email template to your entire email subscriber list at once could, however, be considered bulk solicitation. So the general goal of Google's policy regarding this is to prevent businesses from asking large groups to leave reviews all at once. But individually addressing your customers with an email or, say, a Google review QR code on a receipt will fall within Google's policies and make the process easier for your customers.
Yes, I love that QR code thing that you mentioned there. And we're going to talk about how business owners can use that QR code to their advantage a little bit later in our live here. But one of the things I do want to talk about is how it's probably like the most Googled question when it comes to Google reviews is, can we remove bad reviews? What do you got?
Right, so only Google can remove reviews, not business owners or an agency that manages their online presence, like, say, BizIQ. If you do think a review is disingenuous or fake, there is a Google review team that you can submit a claim to in order to have the review removed from your profile.
And I love that. So if you're listening and that was one of the burning questions that you have, just know that bad review might not be able to be taken down, but you can overpower it with positive reviews. So it's not the end there. But before Matt gives us his last warning, if you are still tuned in with us and you are tuned in live with us, I want you to comment live in the comment section below. And if you are watching this on a replay, please comment replay down below. But Matt, take it away with our last tip, please.
Sure thing. So the last tip I have for you guys is that you can't have employees, friends, or family leave reviews. So the last, basically soliciting reviews from people you know is what's going to violate Google's policy here. Whether genuine or not, these reviews will be biased and violate Google's policies. And asking employees goes a step further. They may feel they must leave a review with specific content, which we mentioned is something to avoid, or they might face workplace consequences, and Google is not tolerable of that at all.
Yes. Now, we had talked about all of the warnings, and now I kind of want to transition into tips for asking for reviews. So we've talked about all the can'ts, nots, shoulds, and don'ts. So let's talk about some positive things here. One tip that I have for business owners is to ask every customer. Make it part of your natural verbiage. So for instance, for a brick and mortar store that has a cashier, oftentimes the cashier will automatically say this without thinking, did you find everything that you need today? Take that sentence a little further. If they did have a positive experience and they found everything that they needed, ask them, hey, at the bottom of your receipt, there's actually going to be a QR code that you can scan to leave a review. I'd love it if you left one about your experience so far. That's one way that it's a personal conversation between you and a customer. Now she just doesn't see you as a normal cash register. You've created a bond a little bit there just by increasing the conversation and making it a tad bit longer. But Matt, what do you think on some tips that people need to know when asking for Google's reviews?
Right. So the first thing you want to do is respond to reviews. So customers show appreciation when a business shows attentiveness and care in responding to these. This will encourage them to leave more and is effective to resolve concerns about negative reviews that might be on your profile. For example, if someone had a bad experience, you can encourage them to reach out directly to get help, and other people will be able to see that and know that you're invested in their customer service. Also, a report that we got from Uberall, the Reputation Management Revolution, noted that 86% of consumers said they would be more likely to shop at a store that replies to reviews. So if you have a brick and mortar location, this is something that's very important to remember. Businesses most often reply to just the 1 and 5 star reviews. So if you respond to reviews ranging from 1 to 5 stars, you can provide differentiation from your competitors and give customers considering your business more reason to trust your customer service and improve your conversion performance for your business.
Yes, and I love that as well too. If you go to BizIQ's Google listing, you'll see that we are also responding to reviews all the time, good, bad, indifferent. We want to make sure that anybody that just took the time out of their day to leave us a review on what they think about our services so far, they deserve a response back from us as well. Now, our next and final tip when you are asking for Google reviews is to make it easy. Now, in the days of 2021, everything is at our fingertips, and we don't like to search too much for any type of answer. So make sure that you can tackle any obstacles that your customers might face. For instance, going back to that QR code, it's super simple because all your customers have to do is scan, and then they can immediately be brought up to the review section, even with the review box already popped up, and they can start typing right then and there. So remove any obstacles or anything that makes it tough for your customers to leave their review. You want to make it as simple as possible. But now that we've talked about the Google reviews, some policies that you should be aware of, and tips, we have got to my favorite time of the show. It's where I hand our microphone right back to you, our audience, and I ask you guys, or I let you guys ask us some questions. So if there's anything that either Matt or I said today that made you think, I'd like to know a little bit more about that, or, when they said this, I started thinking about this, please feel free to drop that in the comment section below or send us a DM, and we would love to continue the conversation. But while they are typing, Matt, I'm sorry to say, you've entered the hot seat.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'm ready.
Is it feeling a little burning?
Yeah, I had to adjust a little bit. So.
Okay. Well, we are going to get to know our favorite Google Local Services Specialist team member, quality assurance team member a little bit better. So we're going to play this or that. Are you ready?
Ready as I'm going to be.
Okay. Are you a lone wolf or a team player?
I'd say a bit of both, but definitely team play is the most valuable and enriching thing, especially as quality assurance. I have to try and keep us all together. So, it's definitely, you can't go without it.
Okay. I definitely thought you were going to say lone wolf. Like I was typing these out and I was like, he's going to say lone wolf, but you surprised me.
This and that.
Hard shell or soft shell tacos?
I'm definitely a fan of soft shell tacos. Something about just the oil, easier to eat. You can hold it however you like. Just less mess as well.
Right. It's just the superior type of taco, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you a singing in the shower or are you dancing when no one's watching?
I guess more of a singing in the shower because I just sing here and there. It just comes to me. So
I can see you getting a little breakdown, but are you a two-stepper guy? Like you just keep it here?
It really just depends. It really depends on the situation. So, but by default, probably a little more just reserved there.
A reserved dancer. Okay. And then chocolate or vanilla?
See, I wasn't a fan of chocolate growing up, but it has been growing on me over time. But vanilla is easier on the palate, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I think of ice cream when I think of that question.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it could go either way.
All right, I'll accept it. I don't usually accept an I don't know answer, but for today, I'm feeling nice. And then the final question. Now, this will put you in the category of if you are truly a millennial or a Gen Z, okay? So I don't want to put any pressure on you, but this is your defining moment.
Let's
Jonas Brothers, Jonas Brothers or One Direction?
I mean, Jonas Brothers just on that's what I'm familiar with. One Direction was definitely I don't know. I was in high school, but I wasn't still watching Disney Channel at that point, or So.
I feel you. All right, so let's check to see if we have any messages. What are the best online spots and where customers post their reviews? So definitely would recommend Google as first because that's where everybody is. Another one I would review is Yelp. What do you think, Matt? Better Business Bureau?
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of review sites, Angie's List, even things like that. People want to review things, so if you look for them, you can find them. But I'd say Google is probably the most reputable and easiest to find because most people are going to use a Google search. So that's where I would put my focus.
Yes. Love it. Alrighty, and before we wrap up, now I do just have to ask because we've been talking about it and it would be rude if I didn't. Do you need help managing your online reputation? Because if you do, I promise BizIQ has the tools and the know-how to get you going exactly where you want to go. So make sure to visit our website or give us a call because we would be more than happy to have you on the BizIQ family with us. So thank you, Matt, for taking some time out of your day today to talk to me. It was fantastic hanging out.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. And, always looking forward to helping our clients, potential clients, anyone with questions. We just are here to add value to small business.
Yes, I love it. And thank you to our lovely audience. Thank you for tuning in. This is our new time and date. We'll be joining you every Wednesday at 11. 11 Pacific Standard Time, depending on where you are. But with that, have a good rest of your week, guys, and I will catch you next week. Bye.
See ya.